Virtuosos that have made this San Francisco Symphony the nation's most successful. Building toward a climactic crescendo, accenting the orchestra's extraordinary artistic range from gripping power to fleeting finesse. Its colorful and joyous productions acclaimed, celebrated, applauded nationwide. Oh my. Today, an encore presentation before the accustomed standing room only audience in San Francisco. 49ers looking for their 10th in a row against a desperate Denver Broncos team. Slim playoff hopes alive. A perfect football afternoon this Saturday. Temperature near 50. A very slight breeze and a bright sun. Hello, everyone. Dick Enberg with Bob Trumpy. You know, this 49er offense is a symphony. They got the reeds and the brass and the strings and the percussion, and it all comes together. And
yes,
they're all pros. And it's something to marvel. And it's one of the reasons why this is a delicious experience.
Yeah, and Dick, we only get to see the net result on Sunday. What those players, that long list of players you mentioned, like Jerry Rice and Ricky Waters and Steve Young, during the week, what these guys bring to the football team is not only their talents, but also their leadership to the younger guys. This is the way we practice. This is the effort we put forth. This is how we play as a San Francisco 49er.
So with all the success of the 49ers, starting with Walsh through Seifert, is it the stars that make the system or the system that make the stars?
Well, the system was put in place long ago. Now they look for players to plug into the system. And defensively, I think that's where it shows, and shows perfectly. I mean, George Seifert does not complain about all the new players that he's brought in here. Other teams complain constantly that, hey, these guys haven't played a lot of time together. But here it works. And again, it's the system. You bring in a Gary Plummer, and he's to stop the run. You bring in a Deion Sanders. He's for single coverage. Very specific roles for these guys, and it all works.
And the specific players they brought in all have Pro Bowl credentials themselves. We'll be talking about that defense as well. There was a late injury today, and with more on that, to the sidelines and Jim Gray.
Okay, thank you very much, Dick. John Taylor did hurt himself in the pregame warm-up. About 30 minutes before game time, he was helped off the field. He strained his lower back. He received treatment up until this time right now when he just came back out on the field. He will not start. Nate Singleton will start, but the 49ers training staff tell us that John Taylor will play. However, his back's going to be very ginger. Dick?
All right, thank you, Jim. The Broncos will kick it off. Wade Phillips trying to close out with a couple of wins here and repeat his 9-7 season of a year ago. And John Elway says he's ready to go, although a bit surprised that there was so little talk about what the playoff possibilities were for Denver during the course of the week. And Steve Young, waiting for his chance, has been just absolutely phenomenal in this 9-game streak. Dexter Carter, number 35, deep for the Niners. And Jason Elam ready to put it in play on this sunny San Francisco Saturday. Sell out here at Candlestick of over 66,000. Dexter Carter at the 7. And slips down and was touchdown. He'll be ruled down by contact. Did not get up to his feet before touched by a Bronco at the 15-yard line. So Steve Young and the 49er offense starts deep in their own end. Here's Reggie Rivers, 38, just getting a hand on Carter before he could get to his feet. So it's 9 Pro Bowlers on the San Francisco team, 2 less than Dallas that led the way. Jesse Sapolo and Bart Oates, the former Giant, 2 of those that are on their way to Hawaii. Steve Young, almost 70% completions. Waters Floyd's been a brilliant rookie from Florida State. Rice, what can you say? Singleton for John Taylor. And Brent Jones, the tight end, another Pro Bowler. Jones in motion. Out of the backfield of Floyd. And the big guy guy gets about 8 yards. Floyd's 16th catch of the year. Here are the Denver Broncos defensively. Shane Dronette, fresh from his best game, 3 sacks last week against the Raiders. Ted Washington played here in San Francisco. Hasselbeck and Simon Fletcher, the front 4. The backers are Kroll, Mecklenburg. Elijah Alexander leads in tackles. Smith and Crockett, they'll have their hands full at the corners. And Darrell Hall for the injured Steve Atwater at safety joins veteran Dennis Smith, Randy Hilliard, and Rondell Jones in the Denver dime. And there's Atwater, perhaps the best defensive player for Denver, and will not see action today. Over the middle to Rice, and he has a first down at the 35-yard line. And that makes 15 straight completions for Steve Young. He closed out last week's win in San Diego with 13 in a row.
That's also Jerry Rice's 100th catch, and for some reason, no one seems to be able to stop that play that San Francisco runs. They run play action to the other side. It draws the linebacker. There's a clear lane there for Steve Young to connect with Jerry Rice, and they always seem to make the connection.
Only Floyd in the backfield as Young changes plays. Great audio as Young to Floyd. And to the 40-yard line, a gain of about 5. You heard the defensive call Omaha.
Yes.
You heard the razor red call from
Razor
Young.
79, Razor 79, audible system, very much a part of what San Francisco does. And when you can see what San Francisco is doing here, Denver blitzes a lot, so they're spreading the formation. And it's going to make it very difficult for Denver to blitz. They didn't there, but a good audible call and a completion made to probably the 4th guy in the procession, or in the progression. That's the fullback.
Now Ricky Waters, and he's corralled before he can get to full speed at the 43-yard line, where it'll be 3rd down and 2. And at 3rd down, the 49ers in this streak just have been impossible to stop.
It seems to me that the early stages of the game, the 49ers, there are a few spots they want to test. Just see how it works. A pass here, a pass there. They come with a little sweep here by Ricky Waters, just setting up the defense.
Harold Mecklenburg, the veteran from Minnesota in his 12th season, making the tackle of Waters after a 2-yard gain. 3rd and 3. Best in the league on 3rd down conversions, the 49ers. Jerry Rice to the 50. And to the Denver 43 and a first down. And one of the rare times you'll see someone get a pretty good lick on Rice in the open field. A 14-yard gain. Ben Smith made the stop.
But Dick, this is a 5-yard completion. And when you play the 49ers, it's the run after the catch that's the most dangerous. And Rice probably the best that's ever played the game in a lot of things. And you're right, he turns his shoulders slightly. Now watch this. He goes in, stops, goes back outside. He's got Ben Smith on him, man-on-man coverage, and the run after the catch.
Dennis Smith was the man who got the hit on Rice. First down at the 44, another 3rd down converted. William Floyd, Shane Dronette got a piece of him and knocked him a bit off balance, and then there was Denver help at the 41-yard line.
Dick, the one thing about the 49ers offense, they've been so successful over the years that right now their biggest enemy is not the Denver Broncos. Their biggest enemy is impatience. They want to perform at a level that few teams can even dream about. Taylor leaving the field with that bad back. Jim Gray told us about that. But as long as this offense can stay patient, they are very difficult to deal with.
Inside handoff to Waters. Breaking tackles and picks up the first down out of bounds at the 30-yard line. A dozen for Waters. Mike Kroll got him out of bounds.
JT leaving the field again. It's the lower back problem. He's a tough guy. Hurt in pregame warm-up. But watch this. You're going to see onside, down blocking, the pull here. Waters right up through. This is the old counter play that the Washington Redskins made so famous. Good, patient. The San Francisco 49ers offensively, they sacrifice size in their offensive linemen for mobility for plays like that so they can pull. Young looking for something big, but it was covered, and now throws it away. Jerry
Jerry Rice, Noah Singleton on the sidelines. And that's the first miss by Steve Young after 17 hits in a row.
This offense looks that way. Like they seldom have an incompletion. They go for the high percentage stuff, and they have so many weapons. I mean, everywhere you turn, and then Young makes the right choice. He doesn't throw the thing down there to make a mistake. There's not a lot wrong. There's Mike Shanahan, the offensive coordinator, formerly of the Denver Broncos, close friend of John Elway.
And another close friend is on the sidelines of Elway on the San Francisco sideline as the Niners look at 2nd and 10. Over the middle to Rice. And riding him down is Crockett at the 11. Another first down and 17 more for the incomparable Jerry Rice.
The first blitz that Denver's run, you're going to see the inside blitz. Mecklenburg 77 on Elijah Alexander. And how they take care of it? Well, let's throw it to the greatest receiver in the history of the game. Let's see if he can run the little slant. Yeah, George likes it. What do you do against this offense? I mean, you got to hope for a bad day on San Francisco's part.
Well, we asked that question of Wade Phillips, and he said the only thing you can hope is that they're a little overconfident. Yes. They're heavy favorites. Young wide open. Waters, and he has a touchdown. Well, this Candlestick Park has seen a lot of fine one-handed catches in its days, mostly during the summer, but Waters spearing it one-handed earns the score.
Okay, I give Uncle, first drive of the game, we saw it all. The only guy who didn't catch the ball there half a part was Brent Jones. We saw everybody else in that offense.
Doug Bryan to try the point after from California, the rookie. 49ers wanted to fill a spot there and went to the 3rd round. Very early pick for Bryan. And Waters, who said, I don't want to knock my buddy Jerome Bettis, my former Notre Dame friend, making the Pro Bowl, but boy, look at my numbers. Yeah. I thought I was going to Honolulu.
He didn't want to say anything about it either, and Bettis is probably his best friend, but congratulations to Jerome Bettis. Maybe he'll get it next year.
The extra point, 85 yards in the opening opportunity, 10 plays, the final 12 yards on this pass, Young to Waters.
Everybody on this offense wants to contribute in any way, shape, or form. The one-handed catch, the move inside, 6 for number 32.
What did Simon Fletcher tell us yesterday? Do they ever make a mistake?
Yes. Not in that drive, they didn't.
Young, who leads the league in touchdown passes, has number 32. Candlestick, we talked about Steve Young and how difficult it is to extricate himself from that huge shadow, Joe Montana. Well, he's not only erasing some of the memories of Super Joe, he's erasing some of his records. 7 years ago, Montana set the San Francisco mark with 31 touchdown passes, and Young has just broken that with his 32nd. 34 left in this opening quarter. The up-back Derek Clark takes the ball out across the 35 to the 36, and we'll pause for this timeout.
Brought to you by Beechwood Aged Budweiser. It's always been true. This Bud's for you. By Compaq. Look for the new Presario computers for that small business you call home. By Energizer Batteries. Still going. Long-lasting Energizer batteries keep going and going. And by Chevrolet Trucks. The most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road.
We welcome you back to Candlestick, where little slick going in spots, so Deion Sanders going to the longer cleats. John Taylor returns from the locker room. And Denver's first chance from the 36. And Elway, fumble recovered by Dennis Brown. Lee Woodall on the blitz, and Brown recovers.
Well, that's certainly one way to find out how healthy John Elway is. Here's Woodall right here, untouched. Runs by Shannon Sharp, who is released in the pattern. And Woodall, with the speed of a safety, is there in about 4 strides. John Elway coughs off the ball. He had no chance. Elway has great vision in the pocket, but I don't think he ever saw Woodall. Well, he did see him at the last minute, but there was nothing he could do about it. Well, this is taking your opponent out of the game early by the 49ers.
They take over at the 22.5. Young to Rice. Touchdown!
Dick, you remember what the Wade Phillips said to us last night? He said this team can beat you in an 11-play drive, and they can beat you in 1 play. Well, we've seen both.
There are just not enough adjectives as Woodall sets up the touchdown with his forced fumble to Jerry Rice, now with 138 career touchdowns, and Doug Bryan. He's been as busy as a place kicker as the man holding for him, Klaus Wilmsmeyer, has been idle as a punter. They didn't get a chance very often.
This is what you call demoralizing your opponent. You take the ball down the field on your first offensive drive, get the turnover 1 play, you score. It just takes the wind out of Denver and the heart.
Stunning early knockout punches thrown by San Francisco. They take the opening kickoff and drive at 85, and then 1 play after a fumble, a 5-second drive for the second score. Glenn Noburn, who played down the peninsula at Palo Alto at Stanford, and he tastes a mean hit from Dedrick Dodge at the 18-yard line.
Dick, back to the touchdown. Here's Jerry Rice, and he's going to run the slant. That's going to score. But here's the key part of the play. Motion by Ricky Waters, and the rookie William Floyd picks up the blitzer Dana Hall. That gives Steve Young the time. Denver rushes 6. They're all picked up. You got the best receiver in the history of the game running his favorite pattern. 4-6, number 138. Dial it in.
Now John Elway, second chance. Derek Clark, and the free agent from Evangel College gets a couple.
And Dick, watch Jerry Rice here on this pattern. Watch how steady his head is when he's running full speed. It's interesting that great receivers always seem to have that ability to stay on their toes, the balls of their feet, keep their head steady. And there's the man who came up with the blitz that produced the fumble.
His third forced fumble of the season, the rookie from Westchester. Second down and 6 for Elway. Underneath to Shannon Sharp. And Sharp, along with his brother Sterling of Green Bay, going to the Pro Bowl, has a first down at the 32. Let's take a look at the Denver starting lineup. Gary Zimmerman goes to his 5th Pro Bowl. Nylander, Wydell, Habib, and Strafford, the offensive front. And John Elway, after sitting out last week against the Raiders, has Derek Clark, Leonard Russell out for the season with a neck injury. Reggie Rivers, the other running back. Anthony Miller, the long ball threat. Derek Russell, the other wideout. Shannon Sharp, the tight end. Cedric Tillman in the 3 wide. Elway drills what a catch. A diving stab by Jerry Evans, the tight end. Evans' 10th catch of the entire year. A good one.
John told us last night, John Elway, he's not really sure what he can do with his knee. The 1 day of hard work this week in Denver was just the standard stuff. No pads, not really putting a lot of pressure on his legs. He's hoping he can go all day long, but frankly, he's not sure, Dick.
16 yards on that play, first down. And now Clark. And he bangs to the 45-yard line from Little Evangel College, NAIA Crusaders in Springfield, Missouri. Dennis Brown, Brian Young, what a rookie out of Notre Dame. He's had a big-time season. Rhett Hall for the injured Dana Stubblefield. Ricky Jackson, the ex-New Orleans Saints great. Linebackers, Woodall, a rookie Westchester, Plummer from San Diego, Norton from Dallas, Davis, and all the other men in the deep secondary going to the Pro Bowl. Sanders, Hanks, and McDonald. They stack up Clark. only a yard on that play, so it'll be 3rd down and 2. Bryant Young, George Seifert said that this kid from Notre Dame didn't come as a rookie or as a young player. He came as a pro. And he thinks that he should be the NFL Defensive Rookie Player of the Year.
I don't think you're going to have a lot of argument from a lot of people, but he's changed physically. He looked a lot bigger and a lot sloppier at Notre Dame. Looks like he's trimmed down, gotten stronger, and a lot more fit.
This is Derek Russell with coverage from Dana Hall.
And that is a defensive backfield now with the addition of Deion Sanders that has so much coverage ability. Tim McDonald is the tackler. All the rest of the guys back there are coverers. And certainly Deion gets the most attention. Merton Hanks, an excellent coverage man. So is Eric Davis, the other corner. Hard to throw the ball deep down the middle against this defense.
Tom Rowan's first punt of the day. Very high, and Dexter Carter waves for the fair catch at the 8-yard line. Reggie Rivers right there for Denver, and we have a timeout. 6 minutes and a second left in the first quarter.
Now,
in this 9-game winning streak for San Francisco, they've scored in big numbers, over 30 in every game except Detroit and Dallas. Dallas being the closest challenge, 21-14 here at Candlestick a month ago. From the 9-yard line. There was movement. 79 Barton lifted a bit off his stance, and that'll cost the Niners half the distance.
Ball start, 79, offense, prior to the snap. Still first down.
Johnny Greer working the game today as the referee.
Barton has got Simon Fletcher, still a good pass rusher, and get a little jump on him, but after the audible, it's all timing in that snap. There's no rhythm in that snap.
Steve Young, when they break huddle, all he's done in the last 9 games in this one is throw 23 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. Catch the flight of the ball. It was there. He was kind of fighting to find it, or that could have been another score. Make that 2 touchdowns today, so 24 touchdowns and 2 interceptions for Young.
This is a tough choice for Ricky Watters as to which shoulder to turn back to the quarterback, and he just makes the wrong choice. If he turns inside, he makes the catch, but I think the pattern was designed for him to go outside, and he knows that if he can catch the football, that is a long touchdown score.
A long primal scream in pain that he didn't get it. Over the middle to Taylor. Ripped down at the 15-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and about 4. Ben Smith, the tackler.
Nick, you mentioned some numbers about this offense. With the 2 today, the 49ers have now scored 60 touchdowns. The NFL average is 32 touchdowns.
Here's Taylor, made the catch, but now he comes out, and that back problem is causing him problems again, and trying to smile through it. But we may have seen the last of Taylor. We'll check the sidelines. On the blitz, another one-handed catch by Waters. Out of bounds at the 32, and number 32 has 15 more.
And they pick up the blitz beautifully. Wait, say, wait, what am I supposed to do here? Now watch the blitz, and Floyd again gets a big block. Ricky Watters releases right up through the middle. He looks and makes the catch. That's Elijah Alexander. No way that a middle linebacker can cover Ricky Watters on a pass pattern. So we've seen 2 blitzes now, all-out blitzes by Denver. Both times, San Francisco has gotten the best of the blitz.
At the 37-yard line. Good low tackle for the Broncos. Ted Washington in on that stop. His daddy played so many years with the Houston Oilers, 10 seasons as a linebacker, Ted Sr. Out of Louisville, traded from San Francisco this year to Denver.
Probably not a trade that he looks with great favor on, you know. They needed size on this defensive line and chose Bryant Young over him.
2nd and 5, the toss to Floyd. Toppled at the 40-yard line where it'll be 3rd down and 2. A reminder tomorrow, sensational Sunday here on NBC. It's our doubleheader. So many implications. How about that New England-Buffalo game and the late contest, Cleveland and Pittsburgh? They're talking about that being the best ever in their long rivalry between the Browns and Steelers.
And so many fans between those two cities. You know, between Cleveland and Pittsburgh on that Pennsylvania-Ohio Turnpike, they don't know which way to turn or what to do. They could probably put 300,000 people in Three River Stadium.
Young to Rice. No, that's Singleton this time. And Singleton to the 45 of Denver and a 1st down before Ray Crockett can make the tackle.
Dick, they just spread your defense everywhere. You can't pick a spot to stop this offense. That's a little half sprint by Steve Young to his hand, to his left hand. He hits the receiver Singleton in perfect stride, picks up another. There's just such momentum in this offense, and these guys don't play an opponent anymore. They play perfection. We want everything completed and everything to work.
How'd you like to be a young guy like Singleton, be a wide receiver in this offense, learn behind Taylor and Rice?
It's a buffet.
Young has to throw it away. No one near that pass, but he had rolled out of the pocket, and it'll be rare incomplete. You know, that's talking about completed passes is John Elway ponders that 14-0 deficit. You know, Wade Phillips said, you know, I've been around here long enough that when you completed 50% of your passes, you had a good quarterback, and then all of a sudden you got a few guys like Stabler and Montana, they started hitting 60%. Yeah. He said, I didn't think I'd ever see a 70% passer, but Young is right on 70% as we speak.
And not as a season. He's darn close to being 65 to 70 every year he plays as a starter.
In the winning streak, he's well over 70%. Blitz on, and he has to throw this one away. Brent Jones appeared to be the primary receiver, but Elijah Alexander covered him well.
Yeah, Brent Jones was the primary receiver on the play before, too, running the delay, but good coverage by Mecklenburg. Again, the blitz. You're going to see the pressure. This is Denver's choice. Put as much pressure on Steve Young as they can. Kroll pulls up in Steve Young's face. Mecklenburg also on the outside. But a missed opportunity. 10 for 14. Steve Young doesn't like that. That doesn't measure up. He doesn't like that.
3rd down and 10. You don't hear that often when the Niners have the ball. Tight end with a 1st down at the 21.
Well, they were trying to get the ball to him. That's 3 straight plays. Jones just runs the inside pattern. It's Rondell Jones, 23. It's Ronnie Bradford, 23, the man in coverage. Jones finally makes the tackle, but there are so many great players on this team, Dick, that you've got to get them involved or they get upset. And, of course, Brent Jones, that's Steve Young's roommate. Come on, roomie, give me the ball.
Those of you who saw the 49ers beat San Diego down at the Murph last Sunday, it was the same thing. Just it's torture for the defense. Waters gets away from Kroll and dives for some positive yards when it appeared that he'd be taken for a couple-yard loss.
That's the old fake reverse. You teach the offensive lineman to yell reverse. But at this time, Ricky Waters keeps the ball. Mike Kroll does an excellent job of at least slowing down the play.
So your offensive line is yelling reverse, hoping that the defensive linebackers think that's their own men, and they react looking for the reverse.
And look, defensive players, they don't recognize voices. I mean, you know, a voice is a voice, a reverse is a reverse.
Is that an offensive bias that I...
Yes.
Underneath the Rice. He told us yesterday, one of the reasons why I've never missed a game is when I'm in that situation and I know I got 2 men around me, I just dive forward.
Yeah.
Oh, what do we have here? The dynamic duo, Steve Young and Jerry Rice. Well, my Montana to Rice was worth 55 touchdowns, but Young to Rice has now moved with a score today into third place all time. Marino Clayton 79, the best. But if you put Rice in the formula, he's over 100 yards, 100 touchdowns, Montana and Young.
They're not done yet. They're a long way from being finished.
Floyd pulled back, still driving, and appears to have the first down on second effort. Down to the final seconds of this opening quarter. Again, most impressive for the men of George Seifert.
Now, this William Floyd out of Florida State, one of the problems coming in as the first-round draft choice is that people pick on you. Well, his agent said he'll be the best fullback, bar none. So guess what his nickname is? You got bar none.
End of the quarter. 49ers, 14, Denver nothing. And stadium air and sea 49ers fans. The MetLife Blimp Snoopy 2 teaming up with NBC Sports, providing you with a bird's eye view of Candlestick Park. The Blimp, equipped with a state-of-the-art camera system, provides a unique perspective of our action from 1,200 feet above Candlestick Park.
I wonder how those blimps avoid birds at that elevation. The only problem with
they got that bird's eye view. Sure,
they do. Okay, I just wondered.
They can pick up a first down without a touchdown. Leading 14-0. We open the second quarter, and William Floyd is in the end zone for another score.
Now Denver Broncos blitz again. And the 49ers get them again.
11-yard run for the rookie Floyd, his fifth touchdown of the season. He's a load, 242 pounds. Was the star blocking back of last year's national champion Seminole team, and Wade Phillips trying to get his team into a higher gear. Doug Bryan's extra point, 21-0. An 85-yard drive to start the game, and that was a 91-yard march.
Good sweep run here by San Francisco. Derek Dees, the offensive guard out in front, 63. Floyd, good power in his legs. Jumps over one and through others for the score.
Niners operating with double Duracells again today. Out it comes to Milburn. Gets it cracked. At the 35, the 40. And finally dragged down by Antonio Goss at the 47-yard line. A 40-yard return by Glenn Milburn. Reminder tomorrow night on NBC. Yeah, they're kind of arguing about who's got the channel switcher, but it's on NBC you want to be tomorrow night when none other than Kirk Douglas and coaches Craig T. Nelson will star. It's an inspirational story. Long lost son fulfilling his father's lifelong dream. It's Take Me Home Again, a world premiere movie. It's tomorrow night at 9, 8 Central right here on NBC. Take Me Home Again. And Bum Phillips, the dad of Wade, he may be calling Papa tonight.
Papa can't help this, Dick.
Elway with that heavy brace on his knee that won't allow it to completely straighten and takes away some of the flexibility. That's the kind of play where a healthy Elway might scramble for some good yardage.
I think he's pretty much resigned to being in the pocket. Brian Young, 97. He gets around the right guard, Habib, and you can see that John Elway's just not mobile. He just doesn't have the real faith in that knee.
Part of the reason he isn't mobile is taking a pretty good beating. That's the 41st time of those 45 sacks that it's been Elway. Milburn, Merton Hanks, and others to make the tackle. Tim McDonald out at the 48-yard line in San Francisco territory. The first time Denver has moved into that half of the field. Well, you can be a bit philosophical when you're a veteran like Mecklenburg. He's seen all sides of leads and deficits.
The Snow Goose is going to be done with football. He's going on to the next phase of his life.
fishing and family.
Yep. Can't work for both.
Third and a short 6 from the shotgun. And an open man is Tillman. Cedric Tillman has his first catch today. Eric Davis with a tackle and a first down at the 30.
Still with the arm strength. John Elway is one of those guys, whether his legs are healthy or not, given the time and the room, look at the RPMs he puts on that ball. Eric Davis has very good coverage, but the speed of that pass, you have to be inches away from the receiver to have an effect.
Catch by Derek Russell near another first down at the 21. Pickup of 9.
Now Denver's doing a good job here offensively, but it looks a little more difficult for when you have an offense on the same field as the 49ers offense. The other team just, they struggle a little bit. The receivers are going out of bounds. San Francisco 49ers receivers, they're heading for the goal line. There's Jim Fossil, the offensive coordinator.
Clark, he got inside the 20 for a first down, and Bryant Young, he's 6'2" and 276 from the Chicago area, runs 40 and under 5, around 4'9", and he has been a terrific first-round pick, a late first-round pick. And there are the total yards, running backs available today for Denver: Milburn, Clark, Rivers, and Strother. Bernstein went out early in the year, Russell out last week. 326 yards. Dion, in 5 interceptions, has almost as many yardage and more touchdowns.
Isn't it amazing? I mean, that's how much trouble the Denver Broncos offense is in today.
First down. Blitz. And Shannon Sharp can't pull down the high pass. Merton Hanks on the coverage. Lee Woodall, who forced the fumble, the linebacker with a blitz, was coming hard again.
Untouched again. Clark, the fullback, 43, is looking inside for Plummer. 50. Woodall comes on a free shot, and no wonder John Elway's limping a little bit.
2nd and 10. Woodall, a 6th-round draft pick out of Westchester College, right in the Philadelphia Eagle territory. Good protection. And a good throw underneath to Derek Russell, and a first down, it would appear, at the 9-yard line.
Dick, because of the 21-point lead here, 49ers going with pure zone, not taking any chances, don't want to give up the long reception. So you see, this is not the defensive coverage that San Francisco plays best. They're better at man-to-man or zoning half the field. So Broncos are going to move down the field here.
Anthony Miller, without a catch, is to the left where Deion Sanders has him. And it's Reggie Rivers for 2 to the 7-yard line. Number 91, Rhett Hall, who is playing for Dana Stubblefield. You talk about how the 49ers getting late-round picks, and they still have drafted so well. Stubblefield was their number 1 pick a year ago, and in the second season he makes the Pro Bowl. Their late first-round pick this year, Bryant Young, might be defensive rookie of the year. I mean, they've done a terrific job.
Yeah, look at that. 12 of 15 players selected. That's remarkable. Somebody's doing a great job in this 49er organization.
Red Hall. Another sack, and Hall, who had 1 all year, has 2 today in the first half.
And boy, that hit was right on John Elway's left knee. Now, it's not a knee injury as much as it's a muscle pull, but watch the hit by 91. Right on the left knee, kind of bends it a little bit. The brace is on the knee. The injury is on the left knee. You want John Elway to stay healthy throughout this season, and in a game like this, a quarterback is definitely in jeopardy.
3rd and goal from the 12. Whoa, Russell almost ran right into the snap underneath, and that won't get much. Jerry Evans just a couple of yards, smothered by Gary Plummer.
That play didn't look good at all.
Yeah, they're going to go for the 3 points. They want to get something on the board. Because after all, Bob Trump, you see, if indeed they rally, you're going to need that 3 points to go ahead somewhere down the line. I don't mean to be facetious, but it just seems that the San Francisco offense is just, who is going to stop them?
They're going to need at least 3 points. There's no question about that.
28-yard attempt by Jason Elam. Elam is now 20 in a row from inside the 40-yard line. 21-3 San Francisco.
On NBC is brought to you by Gillette Sensor XL with micropins that set up your beard for the world's best shave. By Black & Decker, the source of powerful gift ideas. By KFC, the Colonel's way is still the best way. And by Acura, some things are worth the price.
Welcome back to Kenberg, Bob Trumpy, Jim Gray, the defensive coaching corps down there giving the San Francisco 49er defense a scolding. They allowed the opposition to get 3.
Oh, that's cruel.
Jason Elam toward Dexter Carter. Carter, as he saw daylight, finally ripped down, fumbled the ball. Randy Hilliard made the tackle, and the Broncos say they have the ball.
Broncos got to win a lot of these arguments today to have a chance.
Some heavy campaigning there by Ray Jacobs and Rondell Jones. But it doesn't help. It's San Francisco's ball.
But they got to try. In all pileups, they got a lobby today.
Tomorrow night at 7/6 Central, as Carter comes out with the ball himself. All right, a Sunday night on NBC. DNA swapping is turning humans into Terrians on an all-new Earth 2 and on an all-new Sequest. Ship is trapped beneath the ocean floor and surrounded by monster dragon snakes.
Ooh.
I hate when that happens.
What?
Journey into the unknown with Earth 2 and Sequest tomorrow night starting at 7/6 Central here on NBC. Waters knocked down by Shane Dronette. Good play by Dronette, helped out by Ted Washington. Well, 3 times the ball, 3 times 7 points for the 49ers, and that's something. How many times can they go? Can Denver stop them from scoring? And it hadn't been easy for San Diego. Nor Atlanta gave up 50, or New Orleans 35, or the Rams 31.
Keep rubbing it in here. Keep bringing it up.
On 2nd and 10, Young to Waters. Tried to run before he had the ball. And he throws Ben Smith down. Waters, who studied graphic design at Notre Dame, likes to draw, and very modest about his talent. As we talked to him yesterday, we said, well, why don't you just bring us a sample of what you have? And he's fascinated by automobiles. It's one of his pieces of graphic design.
He has a lot of talent.
And another.
Yeah, that's an Austin Healey 3000, I believe. Nice antique car to have in your garage.
Do you have an antique car?
Oh, I have several.
So 3rd and 10 for Young. Goes long to Rice. Incomplete. As he was battling with Randy Hilliard.
Excellent job by Hilliard.
And a moral victory for the Denver Bronco defense.
We put up the
3 and out.
Yeah, we put up the graphic that they scored 3 straight times. Hilliard with a great job. Ball is slightly underthrown here by Steve Young and allows Randy Hilliard to get his hands on it. So hands and candlestick very disappointed.
Wait, we got to introduce this fella, Klaus Wilmsmeyer. You don't see him very often. He has punted less than anyone in the league. And it shows.
No,
it gets a 49er bounce to the 26-yard line.
It's a lack of practice, Dick. That's all it is.
Timeout. 8 minutes, just under 8 remaining in the first half. We're pleased to be in San Francisco, but we'd love to be at Three Rivers tomorrow.
Oh, man.
Browns and the Steelers. Elway starts at the 26. Trailing 21-3. Russell covered by Lee Woodall.
During the last defensive stint by the Broncos, Elway was up there warming up, and John knows I can't miss those, not against a team like this. Talking to himself, I got to be out here for 5 or 6 plays. Give our defense a rest here.
John Albert. Elway, his 2 sisters live in nearby San Jose, are here to cheer for him. Reggie Rivers couldn't get that one extra block in the corner, and there was Ken Norton Jr. to make the stop.
Also, Tim McDonald, a strong safety, hits him first. If you can string a sweep out to the sideline, it's going to be coming right at you. Excellent job by San Francisco at the line of scrimmage, just making it bounce outside. There's McDonald, 46, and then finally Norton making the tackle.
And Norton, who leads the Niners in tackles with 82, 70 of them solo. 2 Super Bowl rings and looking for the trifecta with his new team, the 49ers. 3rd and 6 on the blitz. Elway. It skipped in and complete to Anthony Miller. First throw aimed at the speedy Miller.
You see the 49ers come with a blitz here. And from the shotgun, it's Merton Hanks, 36, the safety who gets in Elway's face, flushes him a little bit, but still that arm strength. I mean, feet right next to each other is able to get it down to Miller. Miller almost makes the catch. 3 and out.
Ruined a punt from around the 20 to Carter. Spiral off the side of the foot. Line drive, 35. And Broncos fortunate that one wasn't taken back for a big gainer. Jeff Robinson made the tackle. There's a flag down back at the line of scrimmage. Against the Broncos, somebody released too soon. I would think San Francisco with
number 56 of the kicking team, illegally downfield. The penalty is declined.
Keith Burns down prematurely. Under 7 remaining in the half.
You're watching.
Nebraska takes on number 3 Miami in the FedEx Orange Bowl. Cornhusker coach Tom Osborne is in pursuit of his first ever national title. 3 times he's come up short. Is this his chance to end his frustration? The game that will decide the national championship. The FedEx Orange Bowl, New Year's Day on NBC.
City by the Bay. It's any better one in the country.
No.
What a great city it is.
It is.
From the 41-yard line, 49ers' 5th possession. And movement early from Barton the 2nd time today. Gives us a chance to talk about Johnny Greer will explain.
Ball start, 79, offense prior to the snap. Still first down.
Number 66 in red is Bart Oates. After 9 years with the Giants, a couple of Super Bowls. He's a practicing lawyer in New Jersey. Went to BYU where his quarterback was Steve Young. So the connection, the Cougar connection. Oates snapping to Young. 2 lawyers. He said when they get in trouble, they talk in Latin. Young to Brent Jones, the tight end, and he's out of bounds at the Denver 49, close to the first down. Darrell Hall, the hit.
Well, you mentioned the 2 lawyers, Oates and Young. Young has yet to pass the bar. Here's his roommate, again, Brent Jones. Excellent outlet receiver, can be the primary receiver, inside release. Carl Mecklenburg and also Mike Kroll kind of drop him. And I can't believe that last week against San Diego there was coverage dropped on Brent Jones. It's happened again today. Not smart. Brent Jones will burn you.
Movement again, and we'll see against whom this time. Well, you go back to Jones. He's going to his third straight Pro Bowl, and it's typical of these 49ers. He keeps track of his catches in practice.
Yes, in practice.
He says, I just don't want to drop a ball all year in practice, and it's inspired by Jerry Rice, Jones, the veterans. You go to their practice, and it's not like any other you see around the league.
I agree. In fact, yesterday when we went to practice, while the defense was doing a little walkthrough, Jerry Rice was down there catching passes at the other end. In fact, he even goes so far as to use an assistant equipment man who is left-handed to throw him passes so that he's used to catching the ball from Steve Young.
Oh, he can't stand to just stand and watch. I mean, where any normal athlete say, hey, I'll take a little blow here and just stand and watch what the defense is doing or what special teams. He goes the other end of the field.
Neutral zone infraction, middle guard, defense.
Middle guard. Johnny, you're aging. You're dating yourself here. Middle guard, where they played with him. There was no face mask when you folded the helmet up. They're now nose tackles, Johnny. Come on, Johnny. Nose guard.
Steve Young getting directly from one of the better referees in the NFL. Johnny Greer, first down at the 44. Speaking of no face mask, how about that? 61 years ago today was the first NFL championship game. Bears and the Giants. Will give you more after the play. Young. Jerry Rice close to a first down, probably has it at the 33. Back to the history, NFL 61 years ago. The man without the helmet is Hall of Famer Bill Hewitt of the Bears. He's lateraling to Bill Carr, and Carr went in for the winning touchdown. As you remember, Bob Trumpy, the Bears beat the Giants that day 23-21. 61 years ago.
You sound like you were there. Did you do that game?
I might have been.
Dick. There you are, right there. I recognize you.
You can see a big crowd for that.
I can see the tie.
Ricky Waters slips down at the 34. It'll be a loss. Covered there by the Denver Broncos. George Seifert. I don't think there are too many people in this game. You get some impression of what they look like, the close-ups on the sideline, and then you meet them in person. I would dare say that most every one of the fans watching today, if they had a chance to spend 5 minutes with George Seifert, say, that can't be the same face
I agree with you.
I see on the sideline, so stern, that Germanic expression, and seemingly never smiling, no emotion, deep in thought. He's such a gentle guy.
Yes, he is. You're right. And if you could sit down and talk to him about fishing, he'd be there for 2 hours with you.
And smiling the whole time. Young's going to scramble. And hops out of bounds at the 23. 11 yards.
Dick, amazing story about Steve Young. When he went to BYU, LaVell Edwards, his coach, when he first got there, said, this guy's too fast to be a quarterback. I want you to go to some other position. So he spent an off season backing up, thinking he was going to be a safety. Ted Tallner came in as an assistant with BYU and said, wait a minute, this kid can throw too good. So against the wishes of LaVell Edwards, they started working him out as quarterback. Now, too fast to be a quarterback. Great thrower. Great leadership, and of course he's always got that ability to run whenever he needs it.
He's going to spend a timeout here with 4:20 remaining in this first half. So here's a great talented quarterback, might again win the NFL Most Valuable Player this season, certainly has the credentials for it, who at one stage in his collegiate career at BYU, Jim McMahon was the quarterback, and between his freshman and sophomore year, it was like the 8th string his freshman year, and then Edwards is going to make him a DB, then eventually replaces McMahon his last 2 years, and now a superstar. And then goes to Tampa Bay, where all of a sudden they don't want him. They get Vinny Testaverde as their number 1 pick in '87, and so he's available, and the 49ers get him at bargain prices.
A second-round pick and a fourth-round pick. Of course, there's a lot of ex-Tampa Bay Buccaneer players playing pretty well around the league. Steve Young is just another.
Well, they have that complicated quarterback rating system, which factors in touchdowns, completion percentage, lack of interceptions, that sort of thing. And Young, I mean, he's in the league by himself.
Absolutely.
If that was a thoroughbred race, he'd be winning by 12 lengths.
Yeah, there's no question that he has outdistanced the field this year at quarterback.
at the 10-yard line. And that'll be another first down, 13 yards.
This West Coast offense that Wade Phillips is looking at always has that outlet receiver. And Young is looking all over the place. You can see how late Ricky Waters released. He just passed. And there he is, wide open. We haven't seen a lot of coverage on that 4th and 5th receiver, but then defenses don't cover that 4th and 5th receiver very well.
George Seifert was happy with that. He said, hey, only 13?
What was that?
Floyd, who has 1 touchdown. And the rookie hit by Carl Mecklenburg and company. Running behind the block of Jesse Sapolo. Here's another great San Francisco story, and as is Mecklenburg, but Sapolo, number 61, makes his second Pro Bowl. Now, early in his career, he's picked in the 11th round. He broke his right foot 3 times and broke his left leg in his first 2 years in the league and had gone home to Honolulu and basically said, hey, I'm just not going to be able to play.
Yeah, then he comes back and he's the center for this team for a number of years. Makes the transition to guard when Oates comes here. Doesn't miss a beat. Looks like he's been there his entire career.
On second down, Young misses Jerry Rice. Boy, take a picture of that. You won't see him misconnect like that often.
No, Jerry Rice told us that receivers in this offense have to read defenses as well as the quarterback. And the only difference is that the quarterback is looking at the entire defense and the receiver is looking at one guy. Constant communication between these two. So they're, again, close to perfection.
Dexter Carter enters the game. Seifert sends in the play. 3rd and goal at the 5. Singleton to the left. Jones, the tight end, split way out to the right, and Rice is in the slot right. Rice stopped at the 1. Good hit by Ben Smith. 4th and goal at the 1-yard line.
He's calling for elephant. He wants the big guys. Elephant, get him in here. We want the big guys. Let's go for the touchdown here. We don't want a field goal. We want our record.
They call that the ox sometimes here in San Francisco. The old Angus. Remember they put Guy McIntyre in the backfield.
Whatever they call it inside the 20 for the 49ers, it generally works, Dick.
Ted pops in the second tight end. Enders. Floyd and Waters. Second touchdown, and it's 27-3. Ali, because his dad wanted him to be a boxer, he'd be some heavyweight at 242.
No, look at Wade. Gentlemen, look, there's Dave Wyman on the side. What'd they do? What can we do? Dave should say to Wade, hey, I got some shoulder pads in my locker. Second half, you go out there. You stop.
The only team that has stopped them was the Philadelphia Eagles in Game 5 of the season. Extra point by Bryant. It's 28-3 and a flag down. Yard drive, 9 plays for their 4th touchdown in 5 chances. Kansas City stopped them earlier, held them to 17, and
holding 61 offense. Unsportsmanlike conduct, leverage on the defense. They'll offset, will re-kick.
The leverage is that a few years ago they ruled that you can't push off a teammate or jump up on a teammate to block a field goal, mostly to protect your teammates from injury.
From behind the defense.
99, it looks to be Shane Dronette climbing up over the back of a teammate. Or
climbing up over Bart Oates. Just jumped right on his back. Shame on you. You shouldn't be doing it.
So it's a replay. And Brian indeed makes it 28-3.
Okay, Dick, if we go back to the pass play that was down here on the goal line, this is Brent Jones. He comes in motion. Here's Rice, and he runs this little delay and then comes back outside. Part of this West Coast offense is just faith in these players' ability to get the job done. Now, this is all man-to-man coverage on Jerry Rice. He comes inside, back outside. It's cleared out for him, and he almost gets to the end zone, but a good tackle by Smith. Again, now watch this delay outside. You got to sell it. Smith makes the contact, but again, look at that quick, strong stride of Jerry Rice, and he just separates from Smith in one step. And then that sets up the 4th down touchdown run. Rice a block on Dennis Smith, 49.
Good lead block by Ricky Waters.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, this Floyd kid, this William Floyd, bar none, this is his rookie season. In 2 or 3 years, this guy is going to remind a lot of people of Tom Rathman. Great blocker, excellent receiver, and does not, and maybe most importantly, does not make mistakes.
Bar none. I love that nickname.
That'll be forever.
Yeah.
Veterans love to find out that a little line like that, bar none. You know, with all his money, he brings donuts, and you know he's got to sing Florida State's.
And he's smart. Look who he sits next to.
Absolutely, the money man.
But he should be making more money, Jerry Rice, shouldn't he? I mean, I'm surprised we don't see him on television more often, selling products.
As a commercial endorser.
Absolutely.
Very well spoken.
Handsome man. He's bright. He's only the all-time terrific wide receiver. We have some suggestions you might be interested to know. Milburn kind of a slip down and get up, and it works. To the 37-yard line. Another good kick return by Glenn Milburn of 31 yards, and that takes us to the 2-minute timeout. 1:51 left before the half.
Night Live with musical guest Hole, or I'll beat you up and eat all your food.
Welcome back, and remind you to say Domino's Pizza NFL Live halftime report coming up with Greg Gumbel, Mike Ditka, and Joe Gibbs. They'll have their thoughts on this first half and previews of 2 of tomorrow's big games, the Browns, Steelers, and the Pats and the Bills. Plus highlights of the game earlier today between the Vikings and Lions as the Lions move into a first-place tie. They are now 9-6, 41-19 that game. Little delay, and then underneath to Shannon Sharp in the tight end to the 45, a gain of 8. Ken North in the tackle.
Dick, San Francisco's choice here, the dime package, 4-man pass rush with Ricky Jackson and Tim Harris on the outside, 1 linebacker, Ken North, 6 defensive backs.
Elway steps up and drills it incomplete to Milburn, broken up by Merton Hanks. Hanks going to his first Pro Bowl.
Probably thanks to Deion Sanders. I mean, I'm not sure Hanks would have made the Pro Bowl as a corner. Deion comes, he moves to safety, and he goes to the Pro Bowl.
I like what he said about his wife, who was an all-star basketball player at the University of Iowa, Marva. I said, you told me once her nickname was Long Legs, and he said, well, she is 6'5", but I call her Gorgeous.
Gorgeous. Great response.
Flags fly. Milburn down. No gain. Ricky Jackson.
He and his wife have 2 daughters. They're 1 and 2, a year apart. And Merton said, in about 15 years, I'm going to be the smallest one in the family.
That's right. Merton's 6'2", and she's 6'5", and had a chance to model in Europe out of college, University of Iowa. You know, athletes, they're usually pretty macho when they're talking about wives, but for, she is gorgeous. That separates Merton Hanks from a lot of people we talk to.
He's right.
First down on the penalty. 1:19 to go. Elway deep for Miller against Sanders, and Deion gets the left hand on it. Well, that'll wake up Deion. I think he was getting a little bored over there. Not much action.
Doesn't like to play zone, prefers man-to-man, likes the confrontation. He looks like the bump on Anthony Miller. I'd like to see a foot race between these 2 guys, because Deion, I think, is the fastest defensive back in the league, and Anthony Miller's got to be one of the 2 or 3 fastest receivers, but that's the way he likes to play football. Be center stage, get the attention, try me, go after me.
runners in the flat. As, again, Rhett Hall, who's playing for Dana Stubblefield, harassing Elway.
And one of the things that 49ers have changed, because Dion loves this man-to-man coverage. Look at the strength that Dion has. Mutual respect. I mean, Sanders is about 6 foot heavy inch, maybe 6'1", close to 195 pounds. Unbelievable strength for a cornerback.
Third and 10 for Elway and the Broncos. Scrambled away from Rhett Hall and throws to the sidelines to Cedric Tillman at the 40-yard line. It's going to be right at the sticks. Boy, that Rhett Hall, where does he come from? From California. University of California gets his chance to play, and he's been in the backfield all this first half.
Yeah, Stubblefield gets hurt. I'm telling you, when you have a team that's successful, they've won 9 straight. They got the best record in the league. You got to tie guys to the sideline. They want to get out there, and they're hoping somebody gets hurt. Not seriously hurt, but just give me the opportunity to play.
4th and 1 with a minute and a second left in the half. Second effort by Derek Clark got him the first down. He'd been stopped shy of the first down. Rumbles for 3, and then Denver uses one of its timeouts.
I'm sure all the people in Denver said, where was that last week against the Raiders? They had 5 shots inside the 1-yard line and couldn't get in. Elway told us, well, it would help if everybody in the offense ran the right assignment. He had a guy in the backfield go the wrong way on 3 straight plays.
Well, tomorrow NBC Sports has this lineup for you, so tune in. It's a doubleheader, 12:30 Eastern for NFL Live. Bill Parcells, New England Patriots. So great chance to move into the playoff picture against the Buffalo Bills. And Buffalo, how many weeks have we said, is this the week? And the Bills still in position with Frank Reich for the injured Jim Kelly to spoil New England's hopes, and maybe a long shot for Buffalo to move on through. San Diego with a win would win the AFC West against the New York Jets, and the Chargers have had trouble winning. And then Cleveland.
Come on, get to it.
Okay, what do you think?
The Cleveland Browns have to run the ball, and run the ball a lot, to keep the Pittsburgh Steelers out of the blitz. If Pittsburgh can blitz, I don't think Cleveland has a chance.
Elway over the middle. And it's Cedric Tillman again. First down inside the 25-yard line with 42 seconds left in the half. Denver has 2 timeouts remaining. Well, for fans of Denver and for the emotions of this Bronco team, a touchdown here would make halftime much more enjoyable. But down goes Elway again. Number 97, Bryant Young. His 7th sack of this season, and the 4th time Elway has been hit trying to pass.
Again, this is just a 4-man rush now by San Francisco, and Bryant Young, who is initially double-teamed, still gets in there with pressure along with Dennis Brown.
Dennis Brown actually made the initial contact. They may have to split that sack.
This guy did not play like this at Notre Dame. He was part of a defense that was more at the line of scrimmage, hit, hold. Now this is a penetrating defense, and it seems to fit Bryant Young's style a lot better.
He was the 7th pick in the draft, and he now has his 7th sack of his rookie year.
Generally, rookie defensive linemen play high. They come out of their stance and they're high and they get blown off the ball. This guy, no, not that guy. Bryant Young, 97. Bryant Young, 97.
What guy was in that picture, that band of 49er cheerleaders? I guess I missed him.
Ken Norton called the signal there. The middle linebacker called the signal there. And
Elway said, hey, you can't do that.
Now that could be unsportsmanlike conduct against Ken Norton. You see,
I did come over to tell him he didn't like it.
Still 2nd down.
There's no question that Ken Norton just screamed when he walked up right over the center, and it got movement on the offense. And Norton is right here. You can just see his helmet, and watch his head bob. He's just screaming. And it draws the Denver Broncos off, and it costs them 5 yards.
And whatever you're using, he could yell one of those loud huts and try to get a 5-yard penalty. 2nd down. 27. Milburn with some blockers, but doesn't get much at all. Boyd Cook and Tim McDonald collaborate on the stop. Down to 16-15. And we'll see if Elway uses a timeout and they try one long field goal. There it is, 9 seconds to go.
I think you got to try one in the end zone here, Dick. Just give it a shot in the end zone.
Their final timeout. Well, the one hope that Wade Phillips had, he said that, they are big favorites, more than a touchdown favorite. They've had little trouble with the opposition, and our hope coming into this game is that their concentration won't be sharp, that they might make some mistakes, and then mistakes seem to create more problems, and now you get frustrated, and that was his hope.
Yeah, but that was answered. That hope was answered on the opening drive by San Francisco. Down the field, 10 plays. We're in this game, gentlemen. We're not taking you lightly.
Well, it's going to be talked every day over the breakfast table. Denver has tried to test San Francisco. Cleveland did give the test to Dallas and beat them last week, but it's Dallas, San Francisco. They're talking about it already here as if it's a foregone that they'll meet for the NFC Championship, and that'll be for the Super Bowl. That's how they're talking on the NFC side.
Hard to argue with that. Although that makes a lot of sense. But Pittsburgh and Cleveland, that's two good defenses there.
So on 4th down and Miles, it's to Reggie Rivers, who gets hit out of bounds at the 30 with 1 second left, and the Niners take over on downs.
I hate to bring this up.
Oh, wait a minute. That was, excuse me, with a penalty. That was 3rd down, and now 4th down, and Elam comes in to try a long field goal.
I hate to bring this up, but this game is already starting to look like that Super Bowl these two teams played. Final score 55-10. Denver could do little, kind of struggled down the field. Couldn't even slow San Francisco down.
It was in New Orleans, and a 45-yard attempt by Elam. Plenty of leg. It's good. So the Denver productivity all on that young man's right foot. 2 field goals. Meanwhile, Wade Phillips in awe, as is most of this league, with the San Francisco 49er offense. Now let's go to Greg Gumbel in New York. High above Candlestick Point in South San Francisco, the 49ers leading 28-6. We're ready for the second half. A look at the Coors Light halftime statistics.
As you can see, the 49ers dominate on first downs, on passing yardage. Time of possession means nothing. The key stat, the 49ers scored on 4 of 5 first half possessions. All 4 touchdowns.
Wonder how long or how big the lead will have to be before George Seifert starts using his backup players. Bryan to kick it off. Milburn, who's had 2 good returns, waits at the other end. At the 7. Then Milburn trying to get to the sidelines and dragged down by Tyrone Drakeford of the 49ers. Well, everyone that loves football watching these 49ers they have to all be saying the same thing. How do you finally stop that offense?
Yeah, I'm not sure there is a way to stop the offense. You need for them to help you to be in a game.
Yeah, but they don't. That's what Denver said. They don't make mistakes.
They don't make mistakes. If I'm reminded of a football team when you look at this offense, it's of the Dolphins in the 70s when there was Greasy, Warfield, Zonka, Kick, Mercury, Morris. They beat you mentally worse than they beat you physically, Dick. They just took the heart out of you.
Elway fumbles, and Denver falls on it. Ricky Jackson with a tackle and forced the fumble. And one of Elway's friends, big lineman there to fall on it, appeared to be Kirk Strafford.
Again, good pressure, obviously, by the 49ers, but they stay after it. They don't give up. He's flushed on the outside, and then Ricky Jackson kind of cleans up and makes the contact. And it looked like Strafford, right, 76, did make the recovery. But again, you go in at halftime, you say, all right, now this is what we're going to do in the second half. Come out, and a sack and almost a fumble lost on the first play.
Brett Hall has the hat trick. 3 sacks for this second-year tackle from California. Let's go down to Jim Gray.
Okay, thank you very much, Dick. Well, I talked to Wade Phillips at halftime, and he told me that we got to figure out some kind of a way to stop the 49ers. He said maybe we have to start a fight, do some pushing and shoving because nothing else has worked. Now, offensively, he knows now that John Elway has been sacked 6 times. I asked him why he's taking such a beating. He says it's totally because of John's immobility because of the left sprain on his knee. He says he's going to keep him in there because he gives him the best chance. And finally, John Taylor will not play for the 49ers in the second half with the bad back. Dick?
Elway going long to Miller, intercepted by Deion Sanders. And for prime time, his 6th. The good news, the bad news is that really cuts into his return average. Which was 60 yards a return.
6th interception of the season. He's returned 3. And this is zone, and as Miller goes by him, look at Deion concentrate on the football. Maybe the 3rd best receiver that the 49ers have.
The NFL on NBC is brought to you by Domino's Pizza. Call now and order new buffalo wings, and we'll deliver them with your pizza. It's gotta be Domino's. By MCI, 1-800-COLLECT, the way to save on collect calls. By RCA, changing entertainment again. And by Buick and your local Buick dealers. Remember Buick, the new symbol for quality in America.
A magnificent view of San Francisco Bay. One of the many stars, Deion Sanders, with his 6th pick. Ricky Waters runs out of room and will take a couple-yard loss at the San Francisco 48-yard line. You were commenting as we looked at Sanders during the commercial break as he played.
Yeah, he never gets dirty. I mean, he's not a great support guy, but when you look at him, try to find dirt. He's already played a half and had an interception.
Left knee. I saw a mark on his left knee.
Oh, yeah. There it is. There it is. But I think that's some pregame.
Pregame prayer.
I don't think that had anything to do with they don't have to wash his uniform. They win. They're leading 28-6. He gets an interception. He never gets dirty.
Young throws, and it's intercepted. Elijah Alexander, his first of the season, throwing into a crowd. Steve Young, only the 3rd time he's been intercepted in 10 games. And Denver has the ball near midfield.
He's mad at himself, too. You're going to see Brent Jones come off the line of scrimmage, and he's right in between 2 linebackers, 58 Alexander, 92 Wayman. And Steve Young, you can hear him yell on the I shouldn't have thrown that one. Ruined a good record. Elway stays on the bench, Dick.
And Hugh Millen now will come in and quarterback the Denver Broncos. Millen, who came in off the bench to help Denver to that dramatic win in Kansas City 2 weeks ago. Milburn caught in the backfield by Dennis Brown.
Dick, we got to talk more about this defensive line. I mean, this is not a huge defensive line, but this is a defensive line whose first step may be the equal of Dallas. All these guys on that first step are in a gap.
Dennis Brown is 290.
But
Brian Young is 276, only 22. Dana Stubblefield is 300 pounds. He's not playing today, only 24. Millen to the sidelines to Russell, and he slips away from a tackle attempt by Eric Davis and out of bounds near the 45 of San Francisco. Hugh Millen from the University of Washington has not had a win as a starting quarterback since 91, 3 years.
Come on now, be nice, Dick. I know it's the truth.
0-9. Good throw to Shannon Sharp on a first down at the San Francisco 32. A 13-yard pitch by Millen.
I notice the receiver and the defender may face each other in the Pro Bowl in Hawaii in February. Sharp is going as a tight end. Hanks is going as a safety. And I wonder if Sharp will be able to play. You know,
no, I heard that he will not. He wants ankle surgery. Get both ankles.
Yeah.
So he will not play. He's announced that today. That's that little shovel toss that didn't fool Red Hall a bit, because Hall is living in the Denver backfield. Rivers had no chance.
Where's this guy been?
Well, Morgan Hill, California is where he grew up.
I mean, again, it's the system, you know. You plug a guy into the system, he watches for 13, 14 weeks, and then finally gets his opportunity. Yeah, I can play. I'm going to show him.
Tampa Bay had drafted him in the 6th round.
Another one.
Is it a catch? Apparently so. Picked it right off the turf and away from Eric Davis. Cedric Tillman, another catch.
Now, Millen is a guy who runs this offense very good because he's got good arm strength. Not like John Elway, but good arm strength. And a big, tall quarterback who throws the ball tall. Comes over the top, so he doesn't get many balls tipped, and he also sees defenders very well.
3rd and 6. Blitz by Hanks and picked up well, and Shannon Sharp right at the sticks at the 21, tackled by Toy Cook. Cook, another of those acquired by San Francisco on the defensive side of the ball. He played at Stanford. In the last 7 years, Cook was a New Orleans Saint.
Now, all these guys who have come from other teams to the 49ers, you know, they got to be pinching themselves on the cheek. I'm actually playing with the San Francisco 49ers. I got a shot at a ring.
First down for the Broncos, and Millen is 5 for 5. In the flat to Milburn. And Cook makes the stop.
Nice tackle.
For a loss.
Nice tackle. Slowed down, gathered himself, and the 49ers now going with that 4-1-6 look. 4-man front, 1 linebacker, Norton, and then the 6 defensive backs.
You know, you look at this San Francisco performance and you think ahead to all the honors, one of them being Coach of the Year. And George Seifert probably won't win it. But he's as deserving as anyone in this league.
But I think Wannstedt of Chicago has got that wrapped up.
Underneath, Milburn, good move. He escapes a tough tackler, and Tim McDonald is not at all happy with himself and gets 11 yards on the play. First down.
This is the smallest running back in the NFL. 5'7", under 180. When he was at Stanford, he never left the field. He was on kickoff returns, punt returns, was a receiver. Is the leading receiving running back in the league. And for his size, he is a tough kid.
Well, they spotted at the 11, so they'll measure. And Milburn going to Stanford, and one of the players he admired most was the San Francisco 49ers, Freddie Solomon.
Yeah, that was 88, 20. Freddie wore 88. He's 22. Working on his master's degree in public policy is Glenn Milburn.
Millen out of the bullpen, 7 for 7. Miller to the right on the first down. Russell left. And off to Milburn. Looks for a hole. Breaks a tackle. Touchdown, Denver.
It looked like Deion Sanders was playing tag there at the end of that run.
11 yards for Lynn Milburn. So Elway takes a breather. Hugh Millen comes in and drives the Broncos right down the field for a fairly easy score.
Now they run the spread formation. A nice handoff. Milburn very patient with the blocking. Looked like Gary Zimmerman, the offensive tackle, was out in front of him for a nice block.
That's the first rushing touchdown by Glenn Milburn this season. Alexander interception, the touchdown by Milburn. Elam adds the extra point, and the score reduced to 28-13.
Should be coming right at you. Nice move here by Milburn. He waits for the block by Zimmerman, but watch Deion Sanders on the left. You're going to see his hands come in. Deion tries to play tag. It doesn't work in the NFL.
Interceptions, and the Broncos score. First ever rushing touchdown as a pro by Glenn Milburn, 11 yards. After the Elijah Alexander interception, and the Broncos cut into the 49er lead to 28-13. And Millen, a perfect 7 for 7 on the trip.
That drive helps Denver a lot up here psychologically.
him to kick. Dexter Carter at the other end. So one of the rare mistakes by San Francisco, and it leads to a Broncos score. Very short on the kick, and Carter at the 13. And tackled at the 37-yard line. A timeout, 8:25 remaining in the third, and Young to make amends. And welcome back, the MetLife Blimp Snoopy 2. High above Candlestick. Might surprise you. That cruises at a speed of 35 miles an hour up to 1,200 feet.
Did they ever run into birds up there? I mean, are they above or below the bird level?
Well, there are those Candlestick birds out on the point.
Yeah. Candlestick birds. Wait a minute.
Steve Young at the 39-yard line. And he goes long for Carter. He steps out of bounds at the 17.
Come on, guys.
44 yards, and you knew Young, after being intercepted, was going to come out and try to hit a big one.
This is linebacker coverage on the receiver out of the backfield. Young throws it beautifully. Good protection. Again, Elijah Alexander. We've seen him in coverage on Ricky Waters, and this time Dexter Carter is split outside as a wide receiver, and it's just a foot race.
He says, okay, Elijah, you got an interception. Try this one.
Yeah. Now, how much more can an offense show you? With formation, with personnel, with motion, Carter again split out.
Ricky Waters to the 10-yard line. First hit by Simon Fletcher.
And Dennis Smith on the sideline made the comment to us last night. He said, you know, I put some good hits on Jerry Rice. Unfortunately, but they've all been in the end zone.
Yeah, we were asking, does anyone ever hit Jerry Rice? It always seems like he's running in the open with hands grabbing at his jersey. He said, yeah, I hit him. I hit him hard, real. But both times he was in the end zone.
In the end zone. See a lot of Jerry Rice's big number. The 88 on the back, not the little 88 on the front. 80. Excuse me, 80. I'm all right. I'm all right.
Here's the 8. Whoa, and Rice. Now that is a rarity. He ran Rice right into a double coverage where he is going to get belted.
But it looked like Rondell Jones, 31, hit Ray Crockett, 39. The two Denver Broncos made heavier contact. Rice kind of dips out of the way. What? See? He avoided the contact. Gets a massage once a week to keep flexible, and probably has the most strenuous off-season program of training of any athlete I've ever heard. 5 hours a day, 5 days a week, all off-season.
Runs. That's why he seems so fresh late in games. Draw to Waters. Touchdown, San Francisco.
Well, but the question was asked earlier of Wade Phillips, how you stop the 49ers. If they're playing like this, your best chance is to hijack the bus. I mean, this is just... When they want to, they can do anything offensively they want.
Ricky Waters, who started today 2 games to go and 176 yards away from a 1,000-yard season, something he wants very much. Has 35 yards rushing today and 41 more receiving. Doug Bryan adds the extra point.
Man, Dick, they've used everything. Different formation, personnel. They spread the defense on this one. Hand it to Ricky on a trap up the middle, and he converts.
Wasn't hit till the end zone. Interesting report from Will McDonough and Greg Gumbel. You hear it first on NBC. Milburn darts out to the 23-yard line. Well, it's been a great weekend of football, and for me, introductory courses have begun in the great game of golf. And one of the best of the reporters, Roger Maltby, joins us, a San Francisco 49er fan for a long time.
Well, I bleed red and gold. I'll promise you that. I'm not a nonpartisan bystander here. Yeah. I'm pulling big time for the Niners.
I got some advice from Johnny Miller, by the way. Gave me 2 tips, and one was to stay with tennis, and the other, after he saw my swing, he said, yeah, you've got a chance.
Well, we're looking forward to you coming on board next February in San Diego, and I think it's a big plus and a big addition for our squad. What do you think?
Roger, I agree with you totally, but you understand, of course, Dick, that the rookie hazing begins in San Diego for the Buick Invitational. You got to sing Central
Milburn, on his way. Can they catch him? Milburn. 77 yards. No, it's Anthony Miller. Anthony Miller, 77 yards for a touchdown. Wait a minute. They might say that he stepped out at the 1-foot line. How frustrating would that be? Miller showing his speed.
Nice throw by Millen when he's almost falling down. And Anthony Miller, watch this move to the outside. Breaks 2 tackles, and then here comes Dion. This is the foot race I'd like to see. Dion's got the angle, stays with it.
And he gets it.
Not much of an angle. Dion runs him down at about the 2-foot line.
Bill Millen tries to sneak it, doesn't make it. So 76 yards on the short pass and long run by Anthony Miller.
Again, now watch it. It's zone coverage by San Francisco. Miller just running a little shallow crossing route. And here's where the tackles are missed. Toy Cook misses. And then Dion runs him down. Well, he's gaining ground on him there pretty quickly.
It's a touchdown for Derek Clark. Clark with his first professional touchdown.
And of course, if they could do this last week against the Raiders, and then the chances for the Denver Broncos to be in the playoffs would be a lot better. 5 chances. First and goal inside the 3, and they can't score.
Clark will keep that souvenir as Broncos answer the San Francisco touchdown in less than a minute. 59 seconds to go back downfield and then negate Waters' 9-yard score. Fake. Jeff Campbell, a wide receiver, dragged down from behind by Merton Hanks. A Pro Bowler saves the 2. 35-19 San Francisco.
I admire Wade Phillips. He still wants to get his team back in the game. No question this is the fake. You see the good job done by the kicker. It fools a lot of people up front, Dennis Brown, but it didn't fool Merton Hanks, and he makes a key tackle there on that 2-point attempt.
We turned our back the last time, and by the time I got back around, I couldn't find out who that was running down the field.
You guys are bad luck. I came up here, everything was under control.
Yes. As I said, though, as the run was taking place, the San Diego Open, the Buick Open down in San Diego, the rookie hazing begins.
That starts in mid-February and right on to the desert for the
donuts and coffee in the morning.
That's right. No question
it's
about
your job.
Well, I know I'm in good hands, and the nicest thing about it all is I just never found more cooperation from the people with whom I'm going to be working and the athletes we're going to be talking about it than in the couple of weeks since the announcement was made. It'll be a great fun.
We're thankful to have you, and we have an exciting year next year with the U.S. Open and some new events for us. Ryder Cup, PGA Tour, some LPGA events and senior events. We're looking forward to it.
And I understand he's one of the more serious reporters on the tour.
Roger spends every evening in the library. Dick, this guy studies more than anybody I've ever come across in my life.
The Merlin Olsen of golf. The Merlin Olsen of golf. Thank you, Roger Mulvey.
Thank you, fellas.
Enjoy the rest of the game. And Denver keeping it interesting, 35-19 as Elam sends a spinner short again to Carter at the 13. Carter finally tackled by Randy Hilliard and Darrell Hall at the 35.
Dick, I think this is interesting. Steve Young back to the huddle. He's going to continue.
Forget on Monday night as we anticipate the Christmas weekend holiday. It's a story about a woman who has the magic to reunite a father and a son, and it's a holiday wish come true. And what a cast. Katharine Hepburn, Henry Winkler, and Swoosie Kurtz star in the world premiere movie One Christmas. That's Monday night, folks, at 9, 8 Central here on NBC.
Again, now new formation with Dexter Carter in the slot this time.
Gets away from the lone defender, and he's going to go 65.
Goodness gracious. comes out of the backfield to make this catch. That new formation I was talking about, I mean, wow, they are deep into the playbook today against Denver, and it's all working.
Dennis Smith showed his 35-year-old legs. Couldn't get to Waters in the open field. Doug Bryan. And the 49ers, and these two teams scoring at will here in the third quarter. 49ers seem to make it even easier. Well, San Francisco, even going back to the days of Joe the Jet Perry and Hugh McElhenney, have had great offenses through the Montana years with Bill Walsh. But this now is the highest scoring San Francisco team ever. They've done it in 15 games. Campbell to the 22-yard line.
Dick, watch this play again. I mentioned there's a new formation. You got Dexter Carter out here. Here's Brent Jones in motion. Here's the Ricky Waters catch, and here's where Dennis Smith can't catch up. They spread the defense beautifully, and Waters just runs the circle route, the deep circle route out of the backfield. There's no underneath coverage whatsoever, and Dennis Smith playing his last season in the NFL, unless somebody else wants him. He'll not play anymore for the Denver Broncos, and Waters goes over 100 yards receiving for the first time in his career.
3 touchdowns for Waters. Miller takes the tackle, and he's got frightening speed to the San Francisco 48-yard line. So Miller quiet all the first half, has 2 big plays, this one worth 30 yards in the third quarter.
And San Francisco staying with the 4-1-6 defense, not necessarily the prevent, that's more of an attitude, but in personnel, 6 defensive backs. Just a little delay pass caught by Miller. And San Francisco's more than happy to give him those yards. Just let the clock work against him, you hope. There's Charlie Waters on the left. Defensive coordinator in name only, Wade Phillips.
Hugh Millen looking for 10 in a row. Has another. So off the bench here in the third quarter for Elway, and Millen has drilled 10 consecutive completions and 162 yards.
And Dick, you know what's even more remarkable? Wade Phillips told us that John Elway took all the snaps in practice this week. Millen took none. And then Millen comes out here and does this job. Not bad at all.
Elway's totals are for the whole half and part of this third quarter, and Millen, all of his work in this third period. And there's 4:45 left in the quarter. Another completion, Shannon Sharp, and another Denver first down at the 22. Merton Hanks, the tackle, 15 more.
Dick, I think this last little bit here by Denver, running the ball down the field, getting the ball down the field and the score, means so much psychologically to this football team because they can compete with the 49ers at a certain level. They're not to their level completely, but they weren't shut out or just embarrassed like it happened in the Super Bowl when they played the 49ers.
Wide open. Kimbrough, and Tony Kimbrough with a catch at the 15-yard line. Deion Sanders in on the tackle, and Sanders, a busy man, highly popular. More than a number is the man wearing the white 21 on a scarlet red today. Deion Primetime Sanders, and he has a new CD rap. Yeah. Called Prime Time. And what is his favorite cut?
Listen closely. It's more, it must be the money. That's his favorite.
Must be the money.
Must be the money. It's got to be because I got people want to be my friends.
Well, I don't want to talk over the vocal here. I'm an old disc jockey at WCEN Mount Pleasant, and we never talked over vocals. But now I can tell you that It Must Be the Money is really an autobiographical piece that he wrote himself. Said that people have changed. I haven't changed. And he went to his mother. She said, "It must be the money."
It must be the money. I'll tell you another thing why he was so upset last week in San Diego when he got doused in the stadium at Jack Murphy Stadium after this play.
Third down and 2. Mullen fumbles, picked up by the Broncos momentarily, and then the Niners seem to San Francisco sacks today.
Brown comes from behind. Hugh Millen never saw him. Brown is on the far side, number 96. Millen looking down the field, and here he comes. Boom. Ball loose. Zimmerman has a shot at it. It bounces away when he hits the ground. 49ers recover. Watch Brown again. Flushed again. Hall, 91, puts initial pressure. All on the ground, and Brian Young makes the recovery.
Tackled for a loss as the 49ers with a 42-19 lead. They're 9 points away from scoring 500 points this year. They saw Denver score 2 touchdowns, and Millen had him in high gear again until he was blindsided by Brown.
This defensive line of the 49ers doing an outstanding job, and for the most part, the guys up in the middle, very, very young. They're going to be around here for a long time.
Second down 12. Jerry Rice. And Ray Crockett came over just as Rice is going to pick up full speed with an open field ahead. 20 more for Jerry Lee Rice from Mississippi Valley State.
That was a saving tackle, too. One thing about Jerry Rice is with his off-season regimen, as you said earlier, Dick, in the fourth quarter, he seems just as fresh as when the game starts. Ricky Waters went out to train with him in the off-season. Almost killed Ricky.
Waters is about 10 years younger. 8 catches, 108 yards, and a touchdown for Rice today. Floyd, 35-yard line. We talked to Jerry Rice yesterday. He said, what records do you want? He says, all of them. Before I retire, I'd like to be number 1 in all the major categories. There's one of them. He's only one behind former Jet Hall of Famer Don Maynard. 100-yard receiving games. Of course, he already has the lead in most touchdowns. He's right there in consecutive games with a catch, and we'll show you all the others.
And he's never missed a game. 154 straight games he's played in.
Oh, Dronette with a sack of Steve Young, who didn't see him. And Young holding his helmet as the first sack registered by a Denver team that doesn't get many. Only the 18th all year, last in the league, and Young is woozy.
Boy, to that point, San Francisco had done a great job of protecting him. Young doesn't like coming out of football games. Last time he came out of a game, he was pulled. Dronette gets by
Derek
Deese. And boy, his head does hit the turf. It's nice to have some grass and some earth underneath that head as opposed to AstroTurf.
Apparently he's okay. And he finds Jerry Rice. That'll clear your head to the 40-yard line, where it's 1 yard shy of a first down. All right, Jerry Rice, how good is this man? Well, first touchdowns total. Now his second, only one behind Maynard for 100-yard games. Second in yardage to James Lofton. And third behind Monk and Largent in catches.
And when he first came to San Francisco, because of the way his career started, everybody said, that's a bad draft choice.
Oh,
bad as that turned out.
Wrong. We'll be back after these messages, your local station.
This telecast is presented by authority of the National Football. Alcohol is prohibited.
High-octane San Francisco with a lead 42-19 as we enter the fourth quarter. Dick Enberg, Bob Trumpy, Jim Gray. And on fourth and less than a yard at their own 41, the 49ers come out as if they're going for it. Is this just a draw offside or... wondered, knowing Seifert, why would you even entertain the risk, even though the way this San Francisco team moves the ball, a foot should be just an automatic.
Sure, but I practice for something else. Just exercise out there for his team. Let's try this, see how we do it.
San Francisco. Eddie DeBartolo, the owner, Carmen Policy, John Fay, George Seifert, right through the organization. When they learned how to win here, with Montana winning that first 4 Super Bowls with Walsh, it just became so contagious that they're not satisfied with anything less than another Super Bowl trophy.
Sure, and everybody now wants to spread it throughout the league. All the guys that used to be coaches here are trying to infuse that West Coast offense in some other location.
Klaus Wilmsmeyer, in the Toronto area, where he was a junior soccer star, Canadian national junior. Oh, too high. Gets away a good kick. And Milburn with a fair catch at the 16-yard line. A 43-yard punt. No return by Wilmsmeyer.
Bell on NBC is brought to you by Duracell Batteries. The copper top tops them all. By the American Express card. Don't leave home without it. By Fixident, for the strongest, longest hold. Fixident and forget it. And by Chrysler and the new Chrysler Cirrus Sports Sedan.
Beautiful Candlestick Park. Sometimes more beautiful in the winter months than in the summer.
Very much so. I agree.
San Francisco 49ers leading at 42-19. And Hugh Millen has completed 20 in a row. No play on this. Millen finished last week against the Raiders with 7 straight. He's made all 13
offense prior to the snap. Still first down.
Of his passes today, giving him 20 in a row. He's only 2 away from the all-time mark set by Joe Montana.
It's funny because Steve Young came into today's game with 13 in a row.
And he had his first, 5 or 6?
5 or 6.
So a very unlikely candidate to break Montana's record is only 2 away. Only 1. Oh, and Derek Russell right between the 8 and the 5 says, well, I always love that Joe Montana.
Oh, come on.
The 20 in a row is second best, tying Ken Anderson of Cincinnati at 83.
Look at this one. Perfect spiral right there. Catch it with your hands. That ball just ate him up. So it stops at 20, huh? And that may have been his best pass of the day.
But he's earned a way into the record book. As Milburn makes a much tougher catch before going out of bounds at the 18.
I got to admire the Denver Broncos here today. They have not given up against all odds, and John Elway on the bench and not very healthy. They could have folded their tents early.
The fact that Elway played today, he won my vote.
Yeah.
He showed me something playing.
And I asked him last night, remember what he said? I said, John, if the season's over, you have no chance for the playoffs. Do you play? And he said, no, I'd have to think about it. So he was a gamer the first half of this season.
3rd and 9, and that could be interference, and is on Merton Hanks. Shannon Sharp, the receiver. Hanks got there early. And if interference, then a first down Denver.
He's playing that safety spot like a corner. To me, like that normally happens out on the outside of the field, and it's allowable.
Pass interference. 28 defense.
28 Dana Hall. I didn't see Hall on that play. It appeared to be Hanks.
He's on the field. They're still going with the 6 defensive back set, but no wonder Merton Hanks got up and said, what, who, me?
Not called interference. I believe it's the illegal chuck before what appeared to be interference. So at the 29, first down. Shannon Sharp beat the gun, and that'll be against the Broncos.
Ball start, 84, offense. Still first down.
So first and 15. Deion Sanders watching from the sidelines. No, he's back in there and thinking about his next CD.
Let me tell you about San Diego here. Again, I want to get that bit of information in.
Millen to the tight end, and it's the second catch today for Jerry Evans, who played at Toledo.
When we talked to Deion yesterday, when they played in San Diego last week, he got doused with some beer in San Diego at Jack Murphy Stadium, and he was incensed and didn't talk to the press afterwards. When we asked him yesterday at the 49ers facility, he said, alcohol has never touched me. I've never had a drink in my life. I don't want people throwing it on me. That's why he was so upset. And he was still upset.
Said it's like someone expectorating on me.
That's right.
Maybe he did say spitting on me. Wide open and sharp, and Troy Cook gets him out of bounds at the 45-yard line. 14-yard play.
And Deion is a very special athlete. As you watch this play, you see Shannon Sharp taking the shallow cross. Troy Cook makes the contact there. There's Deion. He's a very special athlete. I mean, he loves man-to-man. He hates zone. He wants to be in the action all the time.
What you got? What we got?
Another catch, but it's going to be for a loss to Derek Clark. So had Derek Russell caught that pass, it would be 18 in a row today for Millen, and his string would be 25 straight, except for that drop by Russell on maybe the easiest catch of the day.
Oh, no. How awful is it? I'm sure the player doesn't even, I'm sure the players don't even know that string exists. I mean, I know I've completed a lot here, but for the one drop to be such a simple reception.
There's legitimateness as Merton Hanks covers Glenn Milburn. Third down and 17.
Now, when a receiver drops the ball thrown by a quarterback and he, on Monday or Tuesday, realizes what an opportunity he had, generally you move lockers. You go down by the kickers, stay away from the quarterback.
You still remember the drops, don't you? I mean, those are the ones you remember.
Both of them.
See, I only remembered one. Millen looks for the red shirts behind him and gives a little softball toss to Milburn, and flags fly. I believe some of the Broncos were downfield.
Good chance of that.
You know who was chasing him there was Tim Harris, and there's a great story too. Harris, who was a terrific rusher of the quarterback with the Packers, had 19.5 sacks one year. There he is. He thought his career was over. He was the maitre d' at Larry's Surf and Turf in Santa Cruz, showing people to their table, working on a good dip.
The offense. Ineligible receiver downfield, number 79, is declined. Illegal touching of a pass, the receiver went out of bounds and came back in and caught it, will be accepted. Number 49, that is a loss of down, fourth down.
The same as an incomplete pass. You're ineligible once outside. And so Harris reported today in the San Francisco papers that he signed for the minimum. They said, come on back and sign for the minimum, but he gets $5,000 a sack.
And so that's why he's chasing Millen. Don't throw it. Don't throw it. Let me sack you. Please, let me sack you.
One of the 49ers, Ralph Tan, said, I've never seen a man with longer arms. He said, when I tried to block him, he used to be able to reach all the way around me and grab me by the back of the jersey and pull me down.
He's still getting in shape.
Carter with a dicey catch of that floating kick from Ruin, and we have a timeout.
Nice On NFL Live tomorrow at 12:30 Eastern, we'll tell you about the AFC East showdown between New England and Buffalo, and we'll bring you the scoop on the Blue Collar Bowl, Cleveland and Pittsburgh.
This is the kind of game Art Rooney would have loved.
We'll see you tomorrow at 12:30 Eastern. Back to San Francisco.
A little theater there. I kind of like that.
Mike's right,
Getting
though.
creative back at 30 Rock.
Mike's right.
Look at that. Wouldn't any quarterback take that? 20 for 29, 350, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. His rating goes down. Down. He was averaging 69.7% coming in. He only got 69% today.
You're looking at the league's most valuable player, Steve Young.
Elvis Gerbach now the quarterback, and Ricky Waters doing a little ad-libbing, but it cost him a few yards as he goes out of bounds back at the 21.
He has taken over this football team, and it took a severe beating and one other thing, and that was confronting George Seifert on the sideline in Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia.
That was game 5 when they got creamed by the Eagles 40-8.
When he was pulled, he said, "You're putting it on me. I'm not the problem here. It's not fair. I don't want to be out of this football game." And suddenly, that seemed to be the moment when Steve Young became the leader of this football team.
Gerbach down the middle, completes a tight end. Ted Popson from Portland State. Flag down. It may not count. If it does, it's a 25-yard play. Couple of Broncos
Holding,
slow getting up.
39, defense, it's declined.
Against Ray Crockett. And the play will go for 25, and veteran Dennis Smith is shaken. And apparently the two of the Broncos ran together. We'll give you the report on the other injured when we come back. Dennis Smith injured on that last play, and Dave Wyman was the other. They're looking at his left knee. Down 46, Gerbach, who played at Michigan as the quarterback. William Floyd, he's put it into that end zone today. Steve Young, well, the 49ers were 3-1 when they went to Philadelphia, or played Philadelphia here, and Young was taken out of the game by George Seifert. And you see him in the background, Young, and not at all happy. He did not want to be taken out. He felt if you're going to take out the first team, take all of us out. And he said it looked as if you were putting the blame on me, that it was my fault. And he really chewed with Seifert. And Seifert said, it was really healthy. He got a lot of bad stuff out. And he said he's been like a kid, a wild kid ever since. Ricky Waters, still playing like a kid, staggers across the 45-yard line. Then the next game, after they had been beaten by Philadelphia 40-8, they're down 14-0 in Detroit.
And he gets hammered, and this little thing right here, he kind of crawls off to the sideline. And George Seifert said, suddenly behind me, I hear this murmur on the sideline in the Silverdome. And it's the players rallying together and saying, look, this kid has taken enough punishment. We either put up starting now or we're out of here. They come back and win that football game, and the streak started. It's yet to end.
And they've outscored the opposition an average of almost 24 points a game since.
So all the planning a coach can do and all the coaching a coach can do, sometimes the players do take hold, because when Bill Walsh was here as a head coach, you didn't dare confront the head coach. And when Seifert took over, kind of passed that along that same road. We'll run this, you do your job. You're an employee. But when he confronted George Seifert, it shocked Jerry Rice.
Well, it shocked the team because he's such a gentleman, Young is.
Yes.
I mean, he's an articulate, very bright guy, and his tendency was always to resolve it inside and understand. And that was the one time he said, I don't want to take this anymore. And Seifert said, I was wrong. I should have taken the whole team out, not just Young. It did look as if I was punishing Steve. But he said that wasn't the turning point. The turning point was the next week in Detroit when the Lions were well, you saw how they were hammering Young. We were down 14-0. And isn't that amazing how he said it was almost like somebody cued the orchestra, and they all said, hey, let's pull together. This is enough. They're beating up our guy. And they rallied, beat Detroit in that game 27-21, and haven't lost since. inches. Gerback trying to sneak for the first down. San Francisco with a victory today to get the home field advantage throughout the playoffs. And a first down. What has that meant in the AFC home field? Well, of late, Buffalo has had the home field and have gone right on to 4 straight Super Bowls.
It's not going to go through Orchard Park this year, I don't believe. They still got a chance. You can't count them out.
New England and Buffalo tomorrow, and Cleveland, Pittsburgh, and Pittsburgh going for the AFC home field, and they'd like nothing better with that defense to play in January and that icy cold. First down, Waters tripped up by Darrell Hall. One thing about the AFC that we can say in the scramble of the playoffs as you look at the games, if Miami wins, they win the East. If Pittsburgh wins, they win the Central. And if San Diego wins, they win the West. So those 3 division championships are as simple as that.
Buffalo.
What are you doing?
Pittsburgh. I'm picking my winners here.
You haven't picked a winner since Secretariat.
I've never had a Secretariat. Oh, you mean the horse?
That's right.
I'm sorry. No, I don't bet on horses. I want nothing to do with horses. They're farm implements.
There's a timeout by San Francisco. I just wish you had more opinions. 8:49 remaining, and the smiles are not on that sideline.
So I hope so. You know, they working it out, so I eventually got.
Yeah, Ricky Henderson, the Oakland A's superstar, hoping they work things out on the sidelines. He strikes a pose there on the sideline.
That just sounds cruel.
Back to Floyd, who's wrestled down. So it'll be third and about 8. Mike Kroll on the tackle. Elvis Gerback, who is an 8th-round pick out of Michigan, set 8 Wolverine records with his arm. Grew up in the Cleveland area.
Big kid. This is a tall, strong young man who can, if he can learn this offense can extend your career if you're a quarterback. If you can learn it, function in it, you can play in a lot of places in the NFL.
That's Steve Bono.
Yeah, Steve Bono is right.
A little high to Floyd, and the flag is down. Now, we talked earlier about Jerry Rice, and why is it that this superstar, with his good looks, his tremendous work ethic, Seifert said, I've never met an athlete who works as hard. Here's a superstar who leads the team as a model. Why doesn't he have more commercial endorsements? I mean, I don't have anything against Deion Sanders or any of the other great stars, but Rice, so he said, I don't really care. But, you know, down deep he must. So maybe he needs some marketing advice. Well, what would you want? And what would be some logical products that Jerry Rice could represent commercially? Think of something. How about breakfast? You know, breakfast. Is something where you start the day. Well, not Rice-A-Roni, but Rice Krispies. How about Rice Krispies? That's what I was thinking.
Minute Rice, yeah.
Rice-A-Roni is the San Francisco treat. I remember.
I understand.
Minute Rice and obvious.
Contact.
Allstate. Good hands.
Good hands.
Good hands.
Contact.
He can catch everything but a cold.
Very good. GTE.
Receivers. They got great receivers. Gloves. You know, Dan Marino could share some of that.
Yeah.
Those are just some ideas. You know, no percentage taken or anything.
Sign them up.
Oh, look at his hole.
That down at the 8-yard line. Glenn Milburn, and a flag is down.
He was very upset that he didn't really get many endorsements early in his career. But has kind of resigned himself to that fact, holding against the receiving team.
See if it's a post-possession foul, and will be marked off half the distance from around the 9-yard line.
Jerry Rice wears gloves, numbers each one of those gloves each week, and then hands them to the kids as he leaves the field.
Well, yesterday at practice,
26. during the kick will penalize from the spot of the catch.
To the 4-yard line, handed to a kid. John Francis was out at the
Little
practice,
Johnny
gave him one.
Francis, yes.
He's been giggling and happy ever since.
Little Johnny Francis is
Hey, that's something to keep.
Yeah, he won't leave.
Christmas has already been made.
That 49er locker room.
Speaking of Christmas Day, we hope you'll join NBC Sports for an exciting NBA doubleheader with NBA Showtime tipping things off. A doubleheader. Oh, remember, well, it's the greatest upset in NBA playoff history when the Tumbo and the Nuggets beat Seattle last year. Milburn, a gain of nearly 5. And Scottie Pippen and the Bulls against the New York Knicks. But that was the sight. Remember, you lay on the floor there in Denver and celebrated just the improbable Denver Nugget win. And then Ewing and Pippen, two great stars in the second half of the doubleheader. That's on Christmas Day, Sunday, and of course on Saturday, the finale of the regular season and a doubleheader of football on NBC. Underneath to Sharp. Puts a little move on Burton Hanks and has the first down out at the 18-yard line.
Continuing to get the ball up and down the field. I think Hugh Millen has accounted very well for himself here today. John Elway's, that's not his look-alike, but that's definitely Santa Claus.
Well, it's good. You know, they work hard with all those elves and getting ready for the holidays, and you need to take a break now and then. Russell leaves. Miller out to the right with Dion on him. Like to see them get another long-distance matchup. He looks at him and then has to scramble and pays for it as Tim McDonald puts on a crusher. McDonald on his way to a 5th Pro Bowl. One of those many acquisitions on the defense. Yeah, I was looking at the spotting boards from 2 years ago. In only 2 years, San Francisco had just one starter from 2 years ago that started the game today.
Wait a minute, don't tell me. Eric Davis? Or Merton Hanks?
Davis was hurt. Either injured or...
He was hurt, you're right. Isn't that something? But you don't hear the 49ers complain about these new guys coming in and not fitting into their system.
Underneath, Milburn, too many red shirts, and Merton Hanks gets him down at the 24. It'll be 3rd and about 4.
As a player, you have the good fortune to join an organization like this. I mean, one, it tells you a couple of things. One, man, somebody out there loves me.
Well, that's why
it's a great break for anybody to come to San Francisco.
Well, even like a Deion Sanders who said, hey, I came here and I'm only getting $1 million.
Yeah, it costs me money to play here.
That's just not me, said $1 million. I want a ring.
For all of you out there, I'm $1 million. You know, Deion's not. Hey, I can handle $1 million. But he turned down, reported $17 million from New Orleans, and he's a contradiction. He's not the showboat personally and at practice and privately that he is when he comes up with an interception and scores a touchdown. That's just not the way Deion is.
And when we were in Atlanta a few years ago, everyone seemed to love the guy.
Absolutely.
And it's that way here, too.
He plays for the Cincinnati Reds. You can't find a teammate or a member of the organization who has a bad thing to say about Deion Sanders.
Nice kick by Ruin. Carter drifting back to the 22. And knocked down after an 11-yard return. Let's go to Greg Gumbel in New York.
All right, thank you, Dick. NFL Live at 12:30 tomorrow. The big early game, New England at Buffalo. Both teams can win 2 games and make the playoffs. What's the key, Joe?
Buffalo's chances now ride with Frank Reich. New England leads the league in takeaways. Frank Reich's got to throw it to the right guy tomorrow.
All right, big game. Frank Reich at quarterback. Dick and Bob, you guys have seen Reich in some big spots. You size him up for us.
Well, Greg, Reich, the unflappable.
Yes. I remember comments made about Frank Reich. He doesn't freelance as much as Jim Kelly does. Frank Reich, as Joe Gibbs just suggested, will throw it to the right guy because he stays with the game plan. The other reason I like Buffalo, they're in Buffalo. Buffalo they may not make the playoffs, or their run may be over. It will not happen at home. That's the difficulty that New England faces.
Seifert giving his backups a chance. That was Derek Loville from University of Oregon, who has about 77 yards this year prior to today, and pitcher and catcher, Young, and his concert master, Jerry Rice, enjoying the sidelines chat.
It was a symphony today, wasn't it? An offensive symphony.
To a first down at the 42. Takes the clock to the 4:20 mark.
So you read any good books lately? Seen any good movies? Seen any good art shows?
Well, no, what we want to do as we head to the holidays and thank the people who do all the hard work here at NBC Sports. From our president, Dick Ebersol, Tommy Roy, our executive producer, coordinating producer of football, John Feretzis, and the producer of today's game, Monsieur Feretzis. John Gonzalez, our director. Ricky Diamond is the producer of NFL Live in New York, and John Gilmartin, the director in New York, and all the rest of the men and women for the sights and sounds from Candlestick. Look forward to Christmas Eve Day. We'll have more action for you.
Candlestick. Place I love. A lot of meaning in Candlestick.
You know, this morning, it's interesting. I took a jog out, and it was real foggy out on the point here at Candlestick. We're hotel's nearby. And amazing, you know, the birds after which they've named this whole area, the Candlestick bird.
Yeah, right.
They make the most incredible...
What? Go ahead. Go ahead. What'd you say? I didn't hear you.
I thought I heard one.
No, go ahead.
They make the most incredible sound.
Here, Nor. Here, Nor. Here, Nor. What? Go ahead. Finish the story. Come on.
It does sound a lot like they're saying that.
Here, Nor.
What?
What? What are you talking about? No. Finish the story.
Well,
Here, Nor. Here, Nor. What's wrong with you? Come on, finish the story.
I can't.
Here, Nor. Here, Nor.
That was close to what it was. Anyway, let's get back here. 2:41 remaining. Game was over.
Are you all right?
Early as the 49ers.
Very moving experience for you out there on Candlestick.
Well, you know, you get up. I have to get up early to hear the birds. That's the problem, and you get tired and get emotional.
I didn't realize you were an ornithologist. I mean, you know.
Yeah, and I like to watch birds too. And listen to them. Throw back to Loville, and the men who don't play often still know the formula, and another first down. Down to the 2-minute timeout with the Niners about to celebrate 10 in a row. Back in San Francisco, the MetLife Blimp Snoopy 2, providing aerial coverage of today's football game for NBC Sports. The Blimp travels over 60,000 miles a year to cover sporting events and television specials across the U.S. of A. Walker gets a call. Only his 9th carry of the year. Played at the University of Pittsburgh.
Earning letter time here for the 49ers, you know. And the way at the banquet they can get up and walk across the stage.
It's a tough one, isn't it, for the Avis MVP award today. So many could have won, and our cast of voters are in the back room trying to sort it all out and come up with
it's a close
the award.
Ballot. Very close ballot.
The candidates. 2nd and 7. San Francisco hopefully running out the clock and do. Derek Loveland. And the 205-pounder that played for the Pac-10 champion Ducks a couple of years ago, looking good.
You know, Dick, if fans just tuned in late, this was decided on the first drive of the game. San Francisco telling Denver, no, we're here today. We're interested. And then scoring on 4 of the first 5 drives in the first half. 4 touchdowns, 28 points. They put them away early.
85-yard drive with the opening kickoff, 10 plays, and Waters with a touchdown, then a fumble on the very first play for Denver as Elway was sacked and Young went to Jerry Rice, 23 yards. It was 14-0 before you could blink your eye. Adam Walker brought down at the 28-yard line, a loss of about 5. And now the employee owners of Avis salute the game's most valuable player. Ricky Waters is selected as the winner of today's We Try Harder award. 106 yards receiving and 2 touchdowns, another 40 rushing and a touchdown, 146 total yards and 3 touchdowns for our Avis player of the day, Ricky Waters, who sometimes even looks like Deion Sanders. Avis, the official rental company of the NFL, and the San Francisco 49ers will be home throughout the playoffs. It's not a finished symphony, but it was pretty complete today, 42-19. Team in 49er history with another victory, 10 in a row, assuring home field advantage throughout the playoffs. That's the final score, 42-19. For Bob Trumpy and Jim Gray, I'm Dick Enberg saying so long from Candlestick Park. This has been a presentation of NBC Sports in our 30th year covering the NFL.